All right, welcome everybody. How's everyone doing today? Happy June, right? Good morning, Ed. Dave, good to see you. Am I coming through loud and clear? Can you hear me okay and see the slides? Just want to make sure before we get started. Hi, Jorge, Jim, Al. Good to see you all in here. Okay. So today, my estimate will be, it'll only be probably 30 minutes or so, but I guess you never know with me. I'll try not to get off on a tangent. But today I really want to focus in on something cool that I've developed and kind of show you around with it. Very simple, like most of my stuff, it's all about the power of the data behind it. But if you have questions, you can ask. And we're going to do mainly live charts today. Okay, more than slides, but I will start out with the slides. Okay. So again, before we get started, as usual, take a minute, pause to read this important notice. Basically, what this is saying, folks, that you should never trade money you cannot afford to lose. I am not a licensed financial advisor. I do have my PhD in finance and have been trading for almost 15 years now. Okay. Most of you already know that, which is great. So today's agenda, again, fairly simple. I'm going to show you a way that I've been finding high probability trades with my new combo tool. We're going to go over several examples and then give you the special offers and Q&A at the end. Okay, so that's the plan today. Can you all hear me? Jim's saying he lost audio. Can you all hear me okay? Okay. Just want to make sure. Maybe it's Jim's internet. So I'm going to get right to it today. Basically, what I want to show you is this. Okay, I call this the Dr. K combo because basically, as most of you know that follow me, I have the specialized stochastic settings that I like for the stochastic, and then the patented Laguerre RSI, right? And when I was doing my back testing and my research a few months ago, I realized that when you have a stochastic green arrow or red for the short, okay, and then if the Laguerre triggers within 2 bars, so once the stochastic triggers, if the Laguerre triggers within 2 bars, okay, which the way it works in Thinkorswim, I have it programmed so it automatically prints a line here for you. So that way when you're back testing as well, you can see where you have triggers without having to strain your eyes, okay? But when you have this type of combination, it's a fantastic opportunity for you to make money, okay? And so that's the basis of it. And in all honesty, when I first started using the Laguerre a few years ago, and then recently within a year when I started being more aggressive at times, right, when there's high probability seasonal setups, I like to be in aggressive with the stochastic, knowing there's more risk, okay? But then as I was looking at the two, and I was noticing it with high probabilities that when they both trigger within a couple days, they're outstanding trades, okay? Does that mean 100% of them work? Obviously, no. That's not the point. I wish I could develop a system that was 100% accurate. And if you ever find one, please send it my way. But it's going to give you some high probabilities. Okay, it's going to give you some high probabilities. And then you can look at it from a risk-reward standpoint. Okay, a good point on this trade would have been, this is where you would have entered. Okay, right here. And if you put your stop right here, right, you can see that the risk versus the potential reward, that's a good solid trade. And this combination tool works in all markets, futures, forex, and stocks. Obviously, I trade all 3 markets, so I've back tested that extensively. Okay. Okay, so as usual, I try to make things easy on myself, okay? You know, having a wife and kids, I want to stay married and I want to talk to my kids. So, you know, as you know, with my swing trading, I typically, you know, like to find trades in the evenings or first thing in the morning and then place them and walk away, okay? Uh, so in saying that, you know, within Thinkorswim, you know, I've developed I'll call it the scan, okay, which is the watch list script, where you can put in any symbols you want, and I'll show you this again live in just a few minutes. And when it triggers, you know, this is the daily right here, and this is the 4-hour right here, okay? So when you get the triggers, you can run your scans, then you can take a look at the charts and see if it's a potential opportunity for you, okay? So again, that's simple. Everything that I set up, you know, I like to be simple for my own sanity, okay? Okay, so as I mentioned, I wanted to spend some time here looking at the charts. So let me pull the charts over. Okay, can we just confirm first that you can see the charts? Hopefully you can all see the charts. If you can't, let me know. Perfect. Okay. So what I did was, and I'm going to also bring up weeklies. You know, we're going to go over lots of examples to kind of show you how you can also back test things yourself, because I think it's important, you know, to take a look at something and decide from a particular stock, you know, is this particular indicator package working for that particular stock, okay? So all I did was I grabbed the A's, a few A's in my watch list, and then I grabbed some futures Forex pairs and things as well, to kind of take a look at some ones that had some recent triggers, okay? That way I wouldn't be going back through charts for days and so forth, okay? So again, let me explain. This is AA Alcoa. Remember, it automatically prints right here, the line, green is long, red will be short, right? It says right here long, when it's meeting that criteria. What is the criteria again? It's when you get a stochastic trigger green, okay? And then you get a Laguerre trigger within 2 bars, then that's when it prints. So we had a recent trigger on Alcoa right here at, let's just say, just under $8, and it actually wicked up to over 10, right? So again, depending on how you're trading, you know, your option play, your pure stock, you know, that's a pretty nice return in just a few days on Alcoa, okay? As an example, here's one where we had a stochastic trigger short, but the Laguerre didn't trigger for several days after, okay? So even though that was a great trade on the Laguerre or the stochastic, okay, you're not seeing a red dotted line because it wasn't meeting my criteria, okay? Does that mean that I never take trades now that don't have a Laguerre trigger? Of course I do, okay? But what I have found is, especially those of you that trade stocks, right, when you have thousands of stocks, if you can quickly scan in the morning on the combos, okay, those are going to be some of your highest probability trades within seconds to take a look at, okay? So to answer your questions in case you have it, Dr. Keith, are you still using just the Laguerre at times, or if you want to be aggressive, are you just using the stochastic? Absolutely, okay? But the first thing I look at in the morning or the evening on my futures and Forex is if there's any combo trades available, and if there is, do I like them, okay? Okay, ABBV, which is AbbVie Incorporated. So we had a couple triggers here recently. This one right here, see that trigger? And again, stochastic arrow within 2 bars of the Laguerre. You know, this is your entry right here. Okay, this is the entry. Hit highs, right, and then it started its downfall. Now, in saying that, you also had a short trigger right here that would have caught that nice move down here. Okay, same thing. Stochastic short, Laguerre right after, very, very powerful move. Then we had another one right here. Stochastic, Laguerre, bam. Okay. And the reason I wanted to give several examples today is because when I was doing my back testing over the, again, I started researching this combo trade a few months back and was absolutely amazed. Those of you that follow me know that I use seasonality in almost all my trading, right? So one question may be, how do I use this in incorporated with the seasonality? Again, I'm not going to talk seasonality today, but when I pull over my seasonal chart, okay, just as an example, blow it up for you on, let's say Alcoa that's got enough seasonality, okay? When you have the combo triggers in the direction of the seasonal move, I put in larger size of my trades, okay? But the cool thing about the combo trade is you can make money on either sides, especially, again, I'm showing everything right now on the daily, okay? The combo works beautifully on the 4-hour and shorter time frames, okay? It works on the 5-minute, the 1-minute. You just have to have your risk different, obviously. And I don't do a lot of day trading right now. So most of mine are on the daily and the 4-hour triggers, okay? But I will show some shorter time examples as well for you. Okay, AEO. Okay, so AEO, we had a long trigger right here. Again, stochastic, Laguerre right here, went against you for a few days, made us move up, okay? That's American Eagle. AGN had a combo trade right here. You can see the nice move up. Okay, then it had a short trigger, which is very common, folks. When you get a trigger at a high or a low, okay, right here. Okay, and many times when you hit a new high or a new low, you're going to get that retracement because there's a lot going on at that price, right? You got people taking profits, you've got people getting stopped out, and that was the start of that nice move down, okay? And again, these look great. The cool thing is, when I show you how you scan for them here, you can find these every day within seconds, okay? That's the beauty. It really can keep you directed on some of the highest probability. Okay, AGNC. Right here, we had a long trigger. Again, you can see stochastic, Laguerre, okay? So does that mean, again, you're going to get every great trade? No, because, again, here's an example where you had the red arrow shorting, but the Laguerre didn't trigger for several bars after, right? So my scan for the combo wouldn't have picked this up, okay? What would have picked this move up would have been a Laguerre, just my Laguerre trigger, right? Okay, so again, I like to look at the combo first in the mornings as an example. Then I look for my typical Laguerre triggers as well. All the combos are going to include the RSI, right? All the RSI are going to include the combos, but not always vice versa, right? Here's an example where we didn't get the combo trigger because the stochastic triggered too many days early before the Laguerre did, okay? AIG. So here's an example right here on AIG. And when you have this type of consolidation, it's probably not something I would be taking, but again, just want to show you, you get that, it would show up on your screen and you could decide, if you got in here at, let's say, just around 50, maybe you got out at 55. Hard to say on that one. It's really rangy, right? Then you had the stochastic trigger short right here again before the coronavirus crash. Then we had another one right here. Many are still in this trade where you get in at 23. Basically, you're at 30, 31 as of today, okay? And again, the criteria, stochastic triggers first, then the Laguerre within 2 bars. There you have it. And to show you, I'm going to change this daily time frame to 4 hours, okay? So I've now gone to a 4-hour. So those of you that like smaller risk taking, okay, here's a 4-hour chart. So here's a 4-hour trigger, which just happened on last Thursday on AIG, okay? I'm going to go back to daily now. Oh, and you know, while I'm here, again, if you day trade stock, let's say you want to go to, I don't know, let's say the five days or 5 days, 5 minutes, and see if there's any good triggers. So on the 5 minute, there is a short trigger right here. Again, depending on your style, right? I don't trade on the 5 minute on stocks. I do in futures and Forex. Okay, that trade was right there. Here's another short trade right here. So you'll get plenty of triggers on shorter time frames, you know, if you want them on the combo. Right, here's a combo long, and you know, again, when I short-term trade, I do prefer to stay in the overall trend. You know, so if we're in an uptrend, I'll take the long triggers on a smaller time frame and skip the shorts, for example. But again, that's for you to decide. I just wanted to show you. So I'm back to daily now. Okay, AKS. Right here, you got a long trigger up to new highs. And this would have been a beautiful trade short. Again, see how you have that recent high and then you have the combo short? As I mentioned, a lot of times a new high, there's a lot of profit taken, a lot of stop losses, and you get these bigger moves down then, okay? ALGN had a nice short trigger right here. And here's an example of we missed one on the combo, right? So here's a stochastic arrow long, but the Laguerre triggered more than 2 days ago after that. I think one extra day. So we never got this move from the combo. You would have picked this up just on the Laguerre scan, okay? So Ed asked the question, does this work with the 20/40/60 scan? It's a separate product, but yes. So those of you that have the 20/40/60, here's exactly how I would use that. Here's how I use it. Is I'm going to take a combo trade long when the next 20 days out, for example, or 40 days out, depending on your option play if you're doing stocks, right, is going to the high side, right? Let's maximize our odds, right? If it's a long play, a seasonal long play, and you get a combo long, I mean, hello, right? That's exactly what we're looking for. Great question, Ed. Okay, ALXN. You can see we had a recent combo play on that right here. Bam. Applied Materials. Had a combo trade right here. Combo trade right here. Another question I was asked was, with the data mining, do you incorporate that? Of course. You know, when there's trades that have worked out 90% of the time during a certain window, and you get a combo trade during that window where it's already highly, highly accurate over 30, 40 years of data, of course, right? One thing I learned early in trading by making mistakes like most traders that end up doing well is I love filters that only show me good, high quality trades, because if not, you know, if you get tempted, the more trades you can see as opportunities, the more you're going to get tempted. So only look at the ones that give those highest probabilities, right? Here's AMC, and honestly, I didn't take this long, even though you could have made money on it, just because I had an issue fundamentally with AMC, which rarely happens. Okay, rarely do I even look at fundamentals. But movie theaters to me are going to be extinct, so I don't have any money in movie theaters. Okay, and again, here's an example where the combo missed it because when this crossed, it wasn't a red arrow. So when the Laguerre did, you know, I missed this short play. Okay, but the Laguerre picked it up. Okay, AMRN. Again, had a nice long trigger right here at $5, went up to what, 8. So a lot of folks like to buy stocks that are cheap, right? Under $5. This is a great strategy to build that account and just buying the outright stock even without options, because you're giving yourself a really good opportunity and entry. And that's one of the strategies, when I was building an account up that I would use. And if I was going to do that, this would be how I would use it. Okay, so Amazon doesn't have a recent trigger, because what happened here, right? We got a trigger here, but the Laguerre didn't trigger within 2 days. Okay, so we missed this from the combo standpoint. Let me just back up the chart to see when the last trigger was. So the last trigger would have been right here. So if you got in here, you would have hit that move depending on your option play, or if you bought the stock, that's a great time to buy the stock, right? But I know many of you at $1,800, right? You're not going to buy 1,000 shares of that, are you? It should be nice though, wouldn't it? Okay, ANTM. So even on some of these moves, they're not huge, right? You could still make money on these. This was a nice move. This was a nice move here. AOBC. American Outdoors. Doesn't want to come up right now. Let me go to the next one. Apollo. Apollo hit that nice short right here, okay, which was in line with seasonality as well on this one, okay. ASHR. This is a short play. That was a bad signal. Long play, short play. So you can see how well these triggers are working out. Let me bring up some futures now. So the ES. Okay, here's a long play right here. Now, nobody knew that was going to catch the bottom, but to get a combo play there, basically right at the bottom is a beautiful trade, right? Beautiful trade. At the time, I actually just did an option play on the SPY because of the volatility. It was just ridiculous, right? And let me show you. So let me go to a 4-hour chart on the ES. And you can see here, just grabbing the last few. Let me look at the last trigger before that. So on the 4-hour, you got a trigger here. That one wasn't that great. Okay. Now, again, full disclosure, we're in an uptrend. I'm not taking the shorts, but you can. You can still be profitable depending on your risk reward. Okay. So here was a nice short play. This short play right here. And then you had another short play, one after another here. On that 4-hour, okay? What I've been waiting for was this. I was waiting for it, but we didn't get, goodness, let me fix that. Sorry about that. What I was looking for was to get a combo trade right here on the 4-hour, and it didn't trigger the combo. My issue is where price was too high to the top of the band, so I didn't take this one at this point, okay? I'll wait for it to retrace like this. I'm only looking for longs right now on the indexes. Okay, so that's the 4-hour. You can go to a smaller time frame. You can do a 5-minute. Let me go back further. Let's see. 90 days. All right, it's doing its magic here. So this is a 5-minute chart, just looking for combo trades. Again, there's a lot of good signals with just the stochastic or the Laguerre. Oh, you know what? I got to do this on the SPY. Hold on. because the ES had those days where they were down for 15 minutes and the Laguerre indicator based off of that wasn't functioning. So here's a long trigger right here on the 5 minute. Here's a short, here's a short, here's a short. This is the afternoon trading. When you're ranging, you're probably not going to take those. Here's a long, here's a short. So you can see plenty of good opportunities with good risk reward, you know, to make some nice runners to start the trend, even off of something like a 5 minute chart. Okay. Okay, back to daily chart. So let me bring up the euro. Those of you like to trade euro. On the daily chart, we had a trigger right here. Forex pair, US dollar Swissy. Again, we had a short trigger. Right here. Let me go back a little bit and see. There's a nice short trigger right here. You know, if you got in on this one at 98 cents, you know, maybe you take it down until the Laguerre trigger's long and you're out at, you know, 97.20. A lot of ways to play that type of move. Euro yen was a recent trigger long. You can see that was a beautiful, beautiful trigger here. This thing's just like running like crazy, running like crazy. Okay, Yelp. I grabbed some high volume trade ones recently. Short play on Yelp, short play on Yelp. If you want me to look at anything, type it in. Pen was another nice move to the upside here. Combo trade, consolidated for a while, you know, so if you got in right there, the bar you'd be in is at 12 bucks, right? Within a few weeks here is up to 34. Futures, cotton had a great trigger. Again, cotton's thinly traded, but again, beautiful, beautiful trigger on the combo. And I figured I'd bring in another example. There was some good on feeder cattle. Those of you that trade feeder cattle, I love swing trading feeder cattle. Okay, beautiful move up. Then it caught the reversal to the upside. So there's 3 great trades on feeder cattle since late February. Okay. Okay, let me bring up the slides again. Bear with me. Okay, so yeah, so now let's talk about scanning and how that all works. So those of you that obviously that have been using Thinkorswim, okay, I'm going to bring up the weeklies here. These are all stocks that have weekly expirations, okay? You just go up here to your, and you go to, you know, public R-W weeklies, okay? And then what it'll do is it'll load them in and long plays that have happened between today and 2 days ago, okay? So here's a Clorox, for example, okay? We got a combo right here on Clorox, right here. So the expectation is Clorox is going to be probably coming close to this new high of 215 here very, very soon, okay? FCA, we got a combo trade, bam, okay? We also had one back here. Bam, okay, bam, bam. So FCA, you know, when you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 4 good triggers. You know, that's where you just look when you can back test these real quickly, say, well, wow, you know, when I looked at taking this particular trade, you can look and see that, wow, this has really been reacting good with this indicator, right? Then that's where you can look to, you you know, place more money on a trade potentially, right? Short play, and now we just got a long play on Lilly. Probably head up to test those recent highs, right? This is where you're looking to make your money on Lilly right now. Again, trigger, trigger, bam. Somebody had a request for, let me look at SRPT. Okay, I don't see a recent trigger. Here's an example where we had the arrow. This triggered a day late, so it didn't show up on that. It would have just showed up on the Laguerre trigger. Okay. Sure, WWR. So WWR, see, yeah, some of you like those cheap stocks, right? You get in a buck. Look at that today, it gapped up almost over $4, right? Not a bad trade there. PLYA, okay, let's see, PLYA. That would have been a nice short, but the Laguerre didn't get up the top there to trigger that. So the last trigger we have is right here. So if you get in at a little over $2, it's at 330. Okay. Sure, SSL. So SSL, the last trigger was right here at, let's say, $2, and it's at 6. So again, what it's doing is, again, it's just giving you the best opportunities to find some really good trade opportunities for it. Okay, so when I go back to the scan, though, again, you know, let's say you just want to look at the percent change gainers. Okay, see how it's loading the combo based off of all the percent change gainers, whatever that is. Okay, and once it's finished loading, you know, it'll sort it. You can sort it by the combo or the 4-hour, right? Again, if you're looking for a 4-hour trigger, there it is right there for you. Okay, and there's a couple of shorts. Again, I'm not really interested in shorting the market at this point. We're too bullish, right? But it can give you that. So let me go up to, let's see here, Russell 3000. Let it load here for a minute. There's 3,000 stocks, so it takes a couple seconds. But that's how quickly you have your watch list for the day, right? I mean, that's my point of that. So there's Clorox that had that trigger a day ago, okay? You can then go to, you know, let's say you want to trade, you just want the futures to show you, okay? You can load all the futures in there. It'll do its magic. Like here's an example of orange juice. Okay, I'm not taking these shorts on orange juice because we're in this big uptrend on orange juice, which by the way means that hurricane season is going to be bad this year. Okay, so I will not take trades against a major trend like that. Okay, we had a combo here on live cattle, and now we're just getting a short trigger here on live cattle. Okay, now do I like this one? Yes. Why? Because the overall trend is a nice downtrend. We have that retracement, right? Now it looks like it wants to have probably retest these lows. Okay, so that's a quick way to find some of the best future opportunities. And if you have the 20, 40, 60, you know, or the seasonal indicator, like let me just bring over the seasonal on live cattle. Okay, so live cattle over the next few weeks is flat. So if you're taking this short play, there's no seasonal advantage, right? But there's no disadvantage until July we had higher. Okay, so that's how I use it as well as with the seasonal aspect to it, obviously. Okay, so I like this opportunity. I would like it even more if seasonality was having a nice drop or the 20, 40, 60 was showing a nice short play. Okay. Okay, so that's how the scanner works. Again, I have it for this is the daily. I guess I should have clarified, right? The combo here is the daily, and then this is the 4 hour. Okay. Okay. Now, those of you that have the data mining, or yes, this is being recorded and will be sent out today as well, of course. Yep. So with the data mining, what I did was, this is my data mining product where the difference between this and my other seasonal products is the data mining is based on how long a stock has been in business publicly, right? So, and we won't go too much into the data mining today, but I just want to show you, I picked on purpose stocks that typically have some of the biggest moves during a certain window in time, okay? An 11% move in Coke's a big move, right? So out of the last 50 years, that's what this 50 is, it's made money 44 out of 50 years during this window in time, okay? And when you're data mining, the reason I have dates in there is that's the only way you can data mine. You have to plug in dates, okay? Does that mean I enter only on February 7th and exit on 6/10? Absolutely not. I wait for my triggers during this window, okay? But what I wanted to show you is, so for Coca-Cola, okay, I'm basically from February to June, I look for longs, right? So let me show you a little secret. Okay, don't tell anybody. Let me bring up KO. Remember, 50 years of data, right? So here's my point. When do I go in? I go in when I get a trigger, which was in March 23rd. I'm having issues with colors today, aren't I? The 23rd, we have the trigger long, right? So when you go back and you see on the data mining sheet that Coke's gone up, right? We just waited for this Corona to hit. And then we knew when we got a trigger long, good opportunity to make money, right? So if you get in at 43, it's currently, let's say 46.55, okay? But these are some high probability trades. That's why I wanted to show you that. Let me bring up the other. So Procter & Gamble, mid-June till November, it's made money 44 out of 50 years, 11%, right? So think of from an option play, that's a lot bigger percent, right? But so Procter & Gamble, when you go back in June, let me go back, Procter & Gamble. I'm going to go back to June of last year first. Okay, so again, see that nice move up? We didn't get a combo trigger. What did we get? We got a, actually, I'd have to go back let me go back a little bit further. Let me go back 2 years so I can grab that date. Let me go back to the window I was talking about. Okay, so right here. Again, remember the window, June to November, okay? Okay, so go back to June now, and let's take a look. So right here, we had a stochastic arrow, okay, and then the Laguerre triggered. Wasn't within, it was one extra day, right? The Laguerre would have picked this up. But this move, to my point, should not be surprising at all. So put that on your list as we're coming up now. When you get a trigger long on Procter & Gamble, the odds are really good, right? During that seasonal window, okay? So we had a trigger on the Laguerre right here. Is that the start of the nice move up? Very possible based off of history. It's worked from June 26 to 11/2, 88% of the time over 50 years of this, okay? And we could do the same thing with Pepsi and Walmart, okay? Just like to give you some things you can write down, that are free, just to see some of these high probability trades. Okay. Okay, so let me see if there's any questions here. So one question I think you're asking is, Will, is with when we had the COVID, how do the products work? So anytime you have mass chaos, to me, it's really about risk reward, right? Which is less than 1% of the time if you have that type of opportunities, okay? So am I going to take a trade purely based off of seasonality, for example, during a COVID crisis with a seasonal long? No, okay? I like to look at, in fact, I'll show you. What I like to look at, I mean, nobody knew how bad it was going to drop, right? But I like to look at the VIX. When the VIX is acting normal, sorry about that. Okay, when the VIX is acting normal, okay, this isn't normal, right? To be up at 85 on the VIX, you have a lot of volatility. So what you want is different strategies, risk reward, you know, pick directions and have, you know, efficient stop losses. But you can see now we've been back to normal, right, ever since May, in my opinion. So, you know, seasonality, everything, every major system should be working just fine now because of that. So great question. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is let me explain this. So there's a couple things that I'm offering right now. First is the package one. So if you don't have my Laguerre, the stochastic, okay, you need package one for it all to work. So package one comes with everything that you'll need, okay, right here for $6.99 right now is a special launch that I have. Okay, it's going to be changing soon. Okay, and I'll put this link in the chat in just a second. Okay. In fact, let me, and then I'll tell you about the other one here. But let me put this in the chat. The ones that come up, Nan, on the radar screen. Sorry, I missed that question, Nan. That just means that it's not meeting the criteria of the combo. Okay, so it's like saying non-significant right now. When it meets the criteria of meeting the combo, then it'll show up a color. Okay, that's what NaN means. That's all. Good question. Okay, so oops, sorry about that. Let me. Okay, so combo two, if you have the Laguerre and the stochastic package that you bought from me, then you can get it the rest of it for $3.99. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a couple things. Let me back up and let me condense this for just a second. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm just looking for, there we go. Let me copy that into the chat for you. So that's the first package. This is the second package. If you have the Laguerre already in the stochastic, okay? And then I am offering the data mining, the bulls and the bears, buy one, get one free right now. Let me put that in there. You can take a look at that, okay? All right, so let me blow this back up now. I'll keep it like this for right now. It's easier. Okay, so again, if you want the combo, when you click on it, you just click on it when you go to the website for the combo package 1 or 2, or the Laguerre bulls and bears. That was kind of showing you some snapshots that have, you know, the highest probability stocks throughout the year since they've been around. You know, most folks that have that use that for all their trading. If you have any questions, this is my personal cell. Feel free to give me a call. You can also send an email to support@seasonaltraderpro.com. Okay. So again, let me just show you. I'll bring up the website here. Bear with me. I'm just waiting to see if there's any questions, type them in. So when you go to seasonaltraderpro.com under products and services, if you click on that, there's the data mining. This is going to be the full normal price. So use the link in the chat or in the recording that I'll send out to you. But under indicators for TOS, this is the Dr. K combo packages. Again, if you don't have anything with the Laguerre and the stochastic, when it comes to here, you'll click on it and choose package 1. Okay. If you've already got the Laguerre and the stochastic, you would click on package 2. Okay. Okay. Let me go back to questions. All right. Well, fantastic. I'm actually not, looks like I'm not seeing any questions. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any as I'm filtering through. Let's see. Johnson & Johnson. Let's take a look. Oops. So Johnson & Johnson had a short trigger right here at roughly 152, and it went down to 143. Came close to a trigger long here, but you got the green, not the green arrow, the yellow, right? So that wasn't a combo trade. That wasn't a combo trade. And again, that's off a daily. You can go to smaller time frames based on your entry. Okay. This has been and is recorded. I will send out the recording with the links as well. But if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can call me, email me. Let me bring it back up there. Okay. All right, folks. Well, thanks for attending. I told you I was actually longer than I thought I would be, but I wanted to give plenty of examples. Thanks for attending. If you need anything at all, reach out. If not, again, best of luck to you in your trading, and I'll see you on the next webinar. All right, take care, everybody. Bye now.